Thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, if you have witnessed the 8407 mic drop performances, please make sure that you go check out this performance right here, because this one we've been waiting on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And with the introduction is coming. Hold on. Musician, producer, songwriter, singer, performer, all out, very good brother, very good man. You know what I'm saying? Great person, and I've been knowing him since younger. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm older, but you grow out to be a great person.
Yes, sir.
So
Likewise.
for everyone who don't know you, which they should, because you've been on a lot of stages performing, let everybody know who you are.
I'm Pat Jamar, like you said, artist, musician, singer from right here, Decatur, Alabama. Just been doing my thing for a minute, just trying to keep on pushing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we're just going to jump on into it, you know what I'm saying? Being who you are and getting into this music, man, you know what I'm saying? First of all, you know what I'm saying, let people know, you know, like, if you already said Decatur, Alabama, so you was born and raised in Decatur?
Oh yeah, Decatur.
Okay,
well, Trinity, Decatur.
Okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? you know where we come from, little small town.
Yeah.
Shout out to all them out there in Trinity. Much love to y'all, little small town, but we there.
We there.
You know what I'm saying, man? Growing up, you know what I'm saying, and our families grew up kind of close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But one thing I know about your family, it's a lot of music, it's a lot of singers, it's a lot of harmony, it's a lot of soul.
Right.
Growing up in a family like that, man, what's one of the most important things about music that like stuck with you to this day?
As far as the family-wise music, it was just always doing it, honestly, because it was like, regardless of what was going on, they was always gonna sing.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was always gonna sing regardless what's going on. So it's just kind of always been, I guess like a second nature, if that makes sense. Yeah, just something to just always keep doing it, you know. So, and being around it always, you just pick up on certain things, and it was always first it was the drums, and then you know just kind of led to other stuff, music, because I was always, hey Pat, come do this. So, that's how. Yeah.
When did you first get into music? Was it the singing and the harmony first, or was it the instruments?
No, it was definitely the instruments. The singing part came later on. So, like I said, when I was younger, probably around, I remember when I remember it's like 6 or 7, just hopping on the drums, helping out, and playing, and then later on hopping on the keys and kind of figuring that part out. And singing came later on, you know, in my teenage, you know, adult life.
Okay. So you was learning instruments in the single digits?
Yeah.
8, 9?
Yeah, I was learning, yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
okay. Now, what was probably one of the most tough parts for you, or did it just sink in?
The toughest part for me was, I guess, it was in me. I ain't gonna lie, it was in me. So I knew what I wanted to do, but trying to figure out, okay, you can touch this, you can do this a little bit, but this is where it's headed. For me, you know, the keys is where it's, I can play drums, play a little bass, you know, but it was just kind of compartmentalizing and saying, hey, go at this for real.
Okay. When getting on into teenage years, heading toward the 20s, was that when you decided to turn this into a career?
Yeah. So, honestly, man, I never, you know, mom probably ain't gonna like this answer, but it was like, even in high school, when I got that first check, and I was like, oh shoot, you can make money off this. It was like, bet, I know what I want to do. So I never really had another plan. It was just kind of do that, and linked up with the homies. Man, it was another younger musician around the way, and he was on the drums, killing. So I was like, shoot, I gotta let that go. Let me hop on the keys because he got that. So, you know, shout out to my homie Brandon Kahn. My brother right there, so yeah, and me and him would just link up at these programs and be playing, you know, making noise or whatever, but then it just kind of turned into like, oh shoot, like this is a profession, you know, for real.
Okay. Now, was you, and it was always Pat Jamar?
No.
Okay.
What you mean, like?
How, as far as creating your stage name?
No, man. So,
artist,
when I first started the artistry thing, kind of funny. I was going by this name, Still Gray.
Okay.
You know, last name Gray.
I feel that.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep it still, you know, because most people knew me from the church world or whatever.
Yes,
But it's like,
yes.
okay, I just want to keep that still. I'm still Pat, still great, but gonna go do something else.
Okay.
Like, you got to do something else, and that's kind of what I started as, and that was more like a pop experimental thing. I was young, so just going for it, and I'm grateful for those moments because it's like kind of helped me to get where I am today, and like, no, okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now we stay right here.
Yeah.
I read, looking up your bio. I read, you know what I'm saying, because you got a lot of stuff in there. So I went and looked, and this right here caught me. It said, merging the funk of the past with the R&B soul of the future.
Oh yeah.
So I say that to ask you this: where do you put your style, and what do you call your style?
It's definitely the R&B soul, but you definitely gonna get you gonna get your slow grooves, you gonna get that, but you gonna get a little funky with it too. It's gonna speed up, definitely gonna speed the tempo up to make you move. And I just feel like, as far as that, it's got a retro feel, but at the same time, I'm not trying to recreate nothing from the past, just trying to push it forward,
Okay.
with more synthesizers, crazy sounds and stuff like that. So
Okay.
it just kind of, that's more my speed,
Okay. As far as your catalog, how many albums you got on there?
Man, this is actually number one. I put out an album in the past, like I said, put out an album and an EP, and I was younger. And I just, honestly, man, since we just being real, I just wasn't feeling it. I was just too young for what I was trying to do. So it sounded good, but it wasn't what I wanted.
Gotcha.
So now I kind of got a direction of, okay, this is it. And that's why I'm at, more so focused. But as far as singles, got a couple singles out and stuff like that on SoundCloud. I did that. I took that approach first, just to kind of figure out, that would give me some inspiration to just create whatever I want to do at the time.
Okay.
Versus going straight to like the mainstream, your Apple Music and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. You put in a lot of work with the shows and performances.
Yeah.
Now, back up a little bit. You part of a conglomerate called Heard It First.
Yeah, for sure. This the fan.
We've heard, you know what I'm saying, doing our travels and meeting people and networking, we've heard that name so many times. So I can honestly say I probably met two of y'all.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So give us a little backstory on Heard It First.
It's just a team based out of Huntsville. It's a team of artists, and we just got together. And we want to do like a collab album, just to say, okay, hold on, this is what we can do. Do together, and we all just helped each other. Some people might have a little song right here, so, and it might not be for you. You gave it to the next person or different stuff like that. We just basically all collaborated and helping keep the inspiration going. Because sometimes as an artist, you feel like you're out there by yourself. It's just one of those things that we keep it as a group, and it's like, hey man, why ain't no music? Like, what you doing, bro? I might DMR hit me up or whatever. He might be like, hey man, I'm finna get to performing. I'm finna do this. Can you do this? Can you play keys? Hey, I got you. We just basically helping each other all do,
Okay.
do what we gotta do. Is founded by my homie Sharona Henderson, and me, Mill Music, Zammy, DMR, Orion. It's just like it's a whole collaborative. Yeah.
Shout out to all y'all, you know what I'm saying? And come to the foundation, sit down, talk, do a mic drop. We gotta talk with y'all. We wanna know about y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Now also I read in that same article about you taking a big step going solo.
Yeah.
So now here I am, when I see your performances and stuff, I'm thinking you already probably done some, already was a solo artist, but when I read that article, and I'm like, okay, it was a big step for you. So why was that a big step for you, and also what made you choose to finally take that step?
It was a big step just because I was used to being in the background, and doing my thing from this, playing keys, all that kind of, that was just always what I was perceived to just do. And it was like, when I stepped out and was like, man, I just know I got something else to give. So it was that part, and that's why it was just a big step at the time. And I was so eager to do it, and younger and stuff like that, and it was just a big move for me, man.
Okay,
cool. It was a solo thing.
And also, like, as we see you right here on stage, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What is it that Like, what is it that gives you that energy? Because everybody don't approach the stage like you do. They don't cook and bake like you do. I ain't saying that they ain't good. It's just you make sure you're known, and you having fun, and the energy you throwing it out there. When they give it back, you throw it right back at them. It's like a ping pong thing. You know what I'm saying? Where do you get that energy from?
Like that kind of goes from what we was talking about earlier when we was like merging the artists of the past kind of thing. Because as far as performers and stuff like that, I'm Prince, them type guys all day. Like they just, you gonna feel it. You gonna, regardless of what you say, you gonna go home with an experience. And that was just something I always prided myself on doing, especially with me hopping into singing late. It was like I had to find other avenues to, keep the audience engaged. And for me, it was just, hey, get on that stage and let your head down and go forward, regardless.
And the style of music that you play with and experiment with, and it's like, old school cat like me, I'm like, wow, you really do appreciate that R&B, that soul, that midnight love radio station. Like, you really appreciate that. So, like, what is it that make you appreciate that essence?
It was the authentic. Just with me being a musician, first, sometimes, stuff modern, stuff now is sometimes can be a lot programmed and it might, computerized, and it's like, I just love the way that they just kept it G. Like, it's like, if you hit a bad note, you do whatever, you gonna feel it. Like, it's not always, everything don't have to be perfect, because music is a feel first, right, for me.
Okay.
It's like, if I can't feel it, I can't do it. That was basically always the approach.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, a song, one or two of your songs I've seen here, I want to ask you about. First, we'll start with this song right here, "Thinking About You."
Okay.
What you did. What was your message? What was the feeling behind creating that song for you?
Man, I actually made that song in November 26, 2019. Yeah, that's when I first had made it, and it was just, I always knew I had a performance. I remember like it was yesterday. I had a performance. I was performing down in Trinity, I think at the El Monte or something like that. I was performing on the bash, and it was like, for some reason I just couldn't get my show ready, and I was like, okay, something that good just kept on hitting my head. And I was like, bet. So I wrote the song, and then I was like, the band, I sent it to them homies like probably the same day, and I was like, hey, bro, y'all put y'all ear on this. We're gonna do this tonight. And we hit that bug, and it just hit so hard. So it was just contagious, and I knew that when I did put it out, I knew it just had to be right. So I kept doing it, kept working it, and it just never quite felt how I wanted it to feel.
Okay.
And I just recently touched back into it, and it came out the way it came. But yeah, as far as the lyrics of it, it was just more so that love thing, them R&B soul guys, they just don't mind telling you what it is. And sometimes, fellas, we got to get back to that a little bit. It's all right. I'm telling women how you feel sometimes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, I just had to applaud that.
Yeah.
Keep going. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. When if I couldn't get you off my mind, I was thinking about it. So that's where it popped off.
See what I'm saying?
What's the chorus? Give them a little bit of chorus.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about you for quite a while now. I like your style now. So come on, say I've been thinking about you. It's super simple, but it's just a real chorus, and it was a real time in my life.
Woo. Boy. Your inspirations and producers that you did, because you also are a producer. So like, what I'm saying, if you don't mind, give us a little bit of who inspired you, who are you inspired by now, producers that you dig, or is it more of an organic thing?
I feel like this coming all the way back around, because like we was talking about the future. All my producers that I like, I always heard the future, like it was Pharrell, Ye, and of course you got your Quincy Jones, the legends of it.
Legends.
Timberland. All those guys just had something else different that stuck out to me. And it's like, I still find different producers now that I'm like, okay, I'm going back and I've been going back and listening to a lot of Dre stuff just because of the way he was gonna make them.
Yes.
His drums was going out, and that was big for me because, like I said, with me playing keys, sometimes it just you're locking it in. It's like, nah, I need them drums to hit though. They gotta hit. They gotta, So that was just that. Yeah.
Okay. Also, now we down to the last, and this one right here is one I couldn't wait to get to ask you because I know the other people that's in your position playing music all around the world probably had that same feeling.
Yeah.
The satisfaction of music.
Mm-hmm.
For you, what is it?
Ooh, man, that's a good one. The satisfaction of music is, honestly, man, something I've been just dealing with, and I've been having to, refine it in this process. Because sometimes it's the highs and lows. You gonna feel it. Sometimes you just feel like, man, why I'm doing this shit? I mean, that's just kind of what it is. But the satisfaction is honestly getting on that stage and you see it come together. It's like, it's just a feeling like, dang, and you feel like you got the people. When you know you got them in your hand and you can do whatever you need to do, that's like, okay, cool. And it's more so making them feel something. If they come to a show and they got something going on at the crib, but for them for that like 30 minutes, 30, 45 hour, however long you got, I can make you just let your head down, forget about what you got going on. I feel like I've done my part, what I'm supposed to do in the world. And that just took a minute for me to find out, because it's like, sometimes it's been so heavy on myself about putting out music and getting all that kind of stuff, but I realized why it took so long. It was just like, for me, it had to feel right, and I just had to make it authentic. And I can honestly say now, man, I'm getting more enjoyment out of it now than I ever have, just because it's like, got something to live for, got something to do it, a reason to do it.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to my babies at the crib, they just give me, they kind of put that thing back in me like, okay, I'm supposed to inspire them.
Yes.
The kids and all that kind of stuff is really, it all works hand in hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, man, I know your story pretty well. I've been following you for a while.
Oh, yeah.
We might well say we kin folks.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Families grew up together, but you have been let me just say, you have been a great inspiration to me as well. I done had my ups and I done had my show enough under down. If there's another word for down, I was right there.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, man, sometimes I be scrolling through the reels and I see you doing your music and it make me pop.
Yeah,
make me, you know what I'm saying, coming back from things and overcoming, seeing the sunlight.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I get from your story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I get from knowing you.
Yeah. Personally,
business-wise, you always gonna shine.
Yeah.
And you shine because you're supposed to. That's why you work hard.
Man.
So I appreciate what you do, man. Shake your hand like a man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate what you do, and thank you for coming through and stuff like that. So before we go, shout out to the cameraman. Let people know where to find you and your music and all that good stuff.
Find me on IG, Facebook, YouTube, everything at Pat Jamar. Pat Jamar is it, Pat Jamar Music, all that kind of stuff. But Pat Jamar on IG, Facebook, YouTube, all of that kind of stuff. But Apple Music, Spotify, just put that new single out, Thinking About You. It's just out. Go check it out for sure. I got another song coming up, and it's going to get us ready for Juneteenth. I'm not sure when it's going to pop out, but it's going to be one of those. Could have came out today. It's a barbecue song. It's, something we can put on the grill,
Okay.
I just feel like,
exclusive, right? Okay. So before we go, I guess special quick, man. If you don't mind, give me a little tune. Give me a little bit right quick, if you don't mind, bro. When I say this, for all y'all, make sure y'all subscribe, repost, like, do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Please follow Pat Jamar and show your love and support. You know what I'm saying? Solid Foundation. I see you. Instagrams, respect the elements, it's a unit. Shout out to the elements. Also 8407 on the ones, twos, threes, fours, and however far you can count to the infinity and on past that. Like, post, subscribe. Pat Jamar, take it home.
I got my uncle on the grill and he doing this thing. And she got the drinks and shit on the way. We smoking the ribs and sipping some brews. Hit up the homies, been pulling up too. listen, just I ain't even gonna go. Yeah, we working on that.
It's a wrap.